Imagine clicking on a YouTube video, expecting a fun science experiment, only to find yourself deep in a battle of opinions, accusations, and conspiracy theories. That's exactly what happened when Mark Rober, a former NASA engineer and one of YouTube's most popular science creators, decided to test Tesla's self-driving technology against a competitor system. Instead of just a simple tech experiment, the video turned into a massive debate about trust, bias, and why anything related to Elon Musk always seems to start a firestorm online. Before we continue, we've noticed 94.8% of you that watch our videos aren't subscribed, and only 5.2% are. If you love breakdowns of videos like this, don't forget to hit that sub button. Let's start at the beginning. Millions of people clicked on Robert's video expecting to see something cool, maybe even groundbreaking. The setup seemed straightforward, a test that mixed fun engineering with real-world impact. But as the video played on, it became clear that this wasn't just a casual experiment. It was about to become one of the most talked about topics in the world of self-driving cars. So what was the actual experiment? Robert wanted to see if Tesla's autopilot could be tricked by a fake tunnel painted on a wall. To compare, he used another car equipped with LiDAR, a different type of sensor technology. The Tesla crashed into the wall. The LiDAR car stopped. Simple, right? Not exactly. Some viewers immediately criticized the experiment. They pointed out that Mark used Tesla's older autopilot mode instead of the newer full self-driving FSD system. Autopilot is basically a high-tech cruise control, while FSD is supposed to handle more advanced driving tasks. People argued that Mark Rober purposely used an outdated system to make Tesla look bad. As one commenter put it, testing autopilot for a self-driving experiment is like judging a marathon runner by how fast they walk. Now, this is where things get even messier. People weren't just arguing about Mark Rober's test anymore. They were debating Tesla's entire self-driving system. And some folks were mad at Rober for using autopilot instead of full self-driving FSD, saying it wasn't a fair test, but others pushed back, pointing out that Tesla's cameras and sensors don't magically change when you switch modes. One engineering student put it bluntly: the car's hardware doesn't upgrade itself when you switch modes. If the cameras missed the wall on autopilot, why would FSD suddenly see it? That argument made a lot of sense, but it also led to more frustration. Think about it. If Rober had tested FSD instead, and it had still failed, people could have just blamed him for not updating the software correctly. No matter what he did, there would have been complaints. But at the heart of it, this wasn't just about Rober's methods. The bigger question was whether Tesla's camera-only system had a serious flaw. Unlike other companies that use radar and LiDAR to help detect obstacles, Tesla relies entirely on cameras, which means if the cameras don't pick something up, the car won't react. That's a pretty big deal when you're talking about a system designed to drive people around safely. So, was this a problem with Tesla's tech or just an unfair test? That's what had everyone arguing. Now let's talk about the moment that really set people off. Right before the Tesla slammed into the wall, something strange happened. Autopilot just turned off. A warning popped up on the screen, and suddenly, the car was back in the driver's hands. That's when the internet exploded. Some people were convinced that Rober had turned off autopilot himself, basically forcing the crash. One person even swore he panicked and yanked the wheel. But others had a different theory. They pointed out that Tesla's system is actually designed to shut off if it thinks a crash is unavoidable. And guess what? This isn't just some weird one-time thing. It's happened in real-world accidents too. Right before impact, the car hands control back to the driver, which lets Tesla say, well, technically, the driver was in charge when the crash happened. That little detail, yeah, it made people question everything. So, did Rober uncover a flaw in Tesla's safety system, or was he just proving how it already works? Because if Tesla's autopilot is supposed to keep people safe, why would it check out at the worst possible moment? That's what had everyone arguing. Some people thought it was a sneaky way for Tesla to dodge responsibility. If the car crashes and autopilot is off, it's the driver's fault, not Tesla's. Others believe that's just how the system is meant to function, and Robber didn't prove anything new. Either way, the timing of that sudden disengagement was suspicious. Instead of answering questions about Tesla's safety, it only created more. And let's be real, when the internet smells drama, it won't let go anytime soon. Speaking of controversy, let's dive into the drama surrounding the LiDAR car in the experiment. Mark Robber teamed up with Luminor, a company that specializes in LiDAR technology, to put their system head-to-head against Tesla's. Almost immediately, some people started calling foul. Of course, the LiDAR car won. He's working with Luminor, they argued. Robber, however, was quick to defend himself, saying he wasn't paid by Luminor and that the test was completely fair. But then things got messy. People started digging and found out that Luminor's website had actually promoted Robber's video. That wouldn't be a big deal, except that they quickly deleted it after facing backlash. Suspicious, right? And then there was another twist. Luminor's CEO had previously donated to Robber's charity. That raised even more eyebrows. It's like if Coca-Cola ran a taste test against Pepsi and happened to be involved behind the scenes. Even if everything was done fairly, people would still be skeptical. And that's the real issue here, perception. Even if Robber had no bad intentions, the moment people sense a conflict of interest, trust starts to crack. It's not about whether LiDAR is better than Tesla's system. It's about whether people believe the results. In the world of tech, credibility is everything. Once doubt creeps in, it's hard to shake. Now, let's shift gears and talk about how the video was made. Robber is famous for his high-quality editing, multiple camera angles, dramatic reveals, and polished storytelling. But some people accused him of cherry-picking footage to make Tesla look worse. The crash scene, for example, was shown in one clean take. However, behind-the-scenes photos later surfaced, showing that the wall had been repaired and repainted between attempts. That led to accusations of selective editing. In response, others argued, of course he edited it. It's a YouTube video, not a science paper. Still, when testing something as serious as self-driving cars, people expect full transparency. If there were multiple takes, why not show them all? Leaving out raw footage only fueled more doubt. Then came the whole phone controversy. In the video, Robber held up a Google Pixel, claiming that's what he used to record the crash. But some sharp-eyed viewers noticed something strange. The footage had the telltale signs of an iPhone, like its signature color grading and smooth stabilization. That set off another round of internet outrage. He lied about the phone to trick us, some people claimed. While it might seem like a small detail, it points to a bigger issue. Once trust is on the line, even the tiniest things can spark a full-blown scandal. Suddenly, every choice he made in the video was under a microscope. And then there was the child dummy. To demonstrate just how dangerous the situation could be, Robber placed a fake child behind the wall, making it clear that a real kid could be at risk if Tesla's self-driving system failed. Some viewers called it fear-mongering, saying he was trying to manipulate emotions instead of presenting pure facts. Others saw it differently. If an AI-powered car can't recognize a solid object, what happens when a real toddler wanders onto the road? Was it an over-the-top dramatic move or a necessary warning? That depends on who you ask. Either way, it added even more fuel to the already raging debate. Robber wasn't just testing a car anymore. He was caught in the middle of a controversy about trust, technology, and ethics. The internet thrives on controversy, and nothing fuels that fire more than chaotic fact-checking. As soon as Mark Robber's video was released, creators around the world rushed to test his claims. Some sought to debunk him, while others aimed to prove him right. One engineer set up a Tesla Model Y with full self-driving FSD enabled and pointed it directly at a replica of Robber's wall. The moment of truth arrived, and the car stopped just inches from impact. Instantly, a video was uploaded with the title screaming, "See? Robber lied." But as always, the details mattered. This recreation had slight differences. Its wall had different paint, the Tesla was running updated software, and the lighting conditions weren't identical. Meanwhile, another creator went to even greater lengths, matching robbers' setup exactly but activating FSD. This time, the Tesla drove straight through the barrier without hesitation. FSD's inconsistent, they admitted. Sometimes it stops, sometimes it doesn't, and it's a coin flip. This statement set off a frenzy across online forums and social media. Some users argued that this inconsistency proved that Tesla's reliance on cameras alone was flawed, making it unreliable in real-world scenarios. Others countered that self-driving technology was still in development and that occasional failures were expected as part of the learning curve. Influencers and tech enthusiasts began dissecting the footage, debating whether external factors like lighting conditions, road texture, or software version changes played a role in the car's varying responses. With no clear consensus, the discussion quickly escalated into heated arguments, with factions forming almost immediately. Some defended Tesla's approach, while others insisted that LiDAR was the only viable future for autonomous driving. As the debate intensified, supporters of LiDAR technology jumped in to defend their position. A viral TikTok thread attempted to break down the physics behind it, explaining why LiDAR, a system that uses laser pulses to map depth with millimeter precision, is fundamentally different from Tesla's vision-based system, which relies on software to interpret two-dimensional images. This isn't sabotage, it's science, an automotive engineer explained. LiDAR excels at detecting static objects. There's no debate about that. Yet, even this explanation failed to settle the argument. The conversation quickly spiraled out of control as someone sarcastically replied, "Cool, now do a test where the wall has a Biden sticker." With that, the technical discussion was abandoned, drowned out by political jabs and internet tribalism. What had started as a scientific discussion had now turned into a battlefield of personal beliefs and rival fan bases, with little concern for the truth. Here's where it gets ironic. Rober's experiment wasn't just about whether Tesla's FSD could detect a wall. It ended up exposing something much bigger: the way online discourse works. The internet thrives on bold, black and white conclusions. X fails, Y wins. But real-world technology doesn't work that way. It's messy. Tesla's behavior changes based on software updates, lighting conditions, and even the humidity in the air. LiDAR has its own shortcomings, like struggling in fog or heavy rain. But nuance? That doesn't get clicks. Instead, the debate turns into a war of absolutes. Tesla sucks versus Rober's a fraud, and nobody is backing down. It gets worse. Soon, the argument isn't even about the test anymore, it's about proving the other side wrong. A Tesla owner films their car flawlessly navigating a parking lot and captions it, "Take that, haters." Someone else replies, "Now drive it into a wall." "Oh wait, you won't." And on it goes. Every piece of evidence is cherry-picked. Every so-called win is met with new goalposts. The debate isn't about discovering the truth, it's about scoring points. And what gets lost in all this noise? The real question: should any self-driving system, Tesla's or otherwise, rely entirely on cameras when LiDAR exists? For engineers, the answer is pretty straightforward. For the internet, it's just another battle to fight. The conversation isn't about tech anymore, it's about sides. Rober's video, at the end of the day, wasn't just about a crash. It was a perfect example of how we process information in 2024. Not through logic, but through loyalty. The wall, as it turns out, wasn't the only thing getting painted, so that were the narratives.